My name is Gabriel. I'm from Singapore. I split my time between Singapore and Bangkok. I'm also the COO of the conference is happening today, Beyond Block. This is actually our third conference, but the first one in Seoul. My background is I've been involved in tech media, tech startups for nearly a decade. Before that, my background is actually in events management. Before moving is actually to the tech scene. More recently, in the last 1.5 years, into the crypto and the blockchain space, which is how essentially we started Beyond Blocks. So basically, together with Saber, who's my business partner, we used to run a marketing agency. We were running that for a few years already. After that, what happened was that a lot of our friends, a lot of people we know, especially in the tech industry, which was my original background, started getting involved in us, engaging us, and like, can you help us with marketing this thing called an ICO or a token generation event? And we were like, okay, what's going on here? And they were like, yeah, we need help with Facebook, we need help with Google, we need help with Twitter, and we were like, okay, fine, let's help you guys out. One thing led to another thing. The whole ICO buzz started going on and everything. We were like, okay, what's going on here? Then we ourselves started getting involved, both in a lot of different verticals. As retail investors, as consultants, as accelerators, we started seeing the opportunity here. A few folks in Singapore and Bangkok were like, can you collaborate with us? You guys understand the marketing side of things. Maybe you can help us. Gabe, we've got a bit of an events background. Can you help us with meetups and everything? And that's how the whole thing started. And we were running things very casually for about the best part of 6 to 9 months. As things started growing and started scaling up, we essentially was like, oh, maybe there's an opportunity here to bring that network to the next level. A meetup only gives you that much. Can we then bring things to the next level? Can we then look at essentially sharing thought leadership, sharing our networks, increasing the business opportunities? And the result of that today is actually Beyond Blocks, and which is essentially what I said, onto our third conference already over the last 9 months. Two things, right? A, we are in the blockchain space. What's going to happen 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 5 years from now? Nobody knows, right? That's one thing. Another thing as well is that it is a face-to-face. It's an events platform. It's an experience platform. How will that be in the next, say, 5 years? How will the events business in this industry evolve? We don't know. Nobody has the answer to that. However, that being said, the vision of Beyond Blocks is very simple. One thing which we always tell everybody that joins us, we are a bunch of people looking to connect blockchain enthusiasts. So that does not change. Events, whether is it going to be a conference or whether the conference platform evolves, that vision doesn't change. We want to connect blockchain enthusiasts. It is an industry that is full of questions, and I'll be very blunt, it's an industry that's full of scams, shady people, and everything like that. However, that being said, there are still people in this industry that want to do good, that want to make blockchain a legitimate protocol, layer, platform, use cases. And these people need a voice. At the same time, the audience that's interested in blockchain needs to be acknowledged and shared in the right way. So that's kind of like the vision of Beyond Blocks, right? What will Beyond Blocks be in the future? I don't know. But that is essentially the direction which Beyond Blocks is trying to take. Team is actually very, very international. We've got people from Canada, we've got people from the Netherlands, myself from Singapore, we've got a couple of people from Thailand as well. In fact, most of the team is based in Thailand, some of us based in Singapore. We are made up of people, myself, tech industry background, involved in media, involved in organizing events for a very long time, very in touch with the more startup tech ecosystem, both from a corporate innovation perspective and a low-level startup level, VCs, everything as well. Saber, my business partner, has a background in marketing, events as well. Obviously, he actually was the first one among all of us who actually jumped into the crypto and blockchain space. So he's got a very good understanding of projects. In fact, for some of the other stuff which we do on the side, he takes more of a lead in that one, even though he's the CEO, and he focuses on that one. The rest of the guys, marketing background, events background. We've got a couple of people with technical backgrounds as well. They are the ones that help us with all the marketing things and social media stuff, which we do as well. The current focus is very much on Asia. That's where we are. That's what we know. That's the partnerships we look to grow, and that's also where essentially we understand the ground a lot better. It's like people ask us this question: why are you guys not in LA? Why are you guys not in Miami? Why are you guys not in Berlin? And with respect, there are people there that are really doing a pretty decent job, right? And they probably know the culture, the market, the audience way better than us. So we focus on what we know best, which is essentially Asia. Past events, we first ran the first one in Bangkok last year in December. That was the first Beyond Blocks conference which we ran. It was something that was a little bit smaller, 1,000 people. We ran it somewhat as an experiment as well. We wanted to know whether there was an opportunity, not just for a conference events business, but we also wanted to find an opportunity to see whether there was essentially a network, whether there really was a matured blockchain community. Right? We didn't even bring sponsors on board at the point of time. We just sold tickets, right? Just sold tickets, focused on putting on a good show, and from that, things evolved. We talked to a lot of people. People talked to us. Given what's happening in Asia, there were two markets essentially that were most exciting. One of it was Japan, another one was Korea, right? For strategic reasons, we decided to go with Tokyo first, and that will happen in April during the spring. It was through Japan that essentially we got reconnected with a lot of other people. They saw what we've done, and well, here we are in Seoul today. Korea is a huge market. So many people at retail investment level are getting involved into the space. So many people investing in different ICOs. So many people trading every day. It's one of the highest volumes. Besides Japan, Korea is some of the top of the list, at least in Asia. In fact, even if you ask me, globally as well. You talk about innovation. There are interesting projects coming out of Korea. There's a lot of excitement. If you look at it from an investor landscape or from a content landscape, whenever somebody says that there's a Korean project that is doing something on the blockchain, people just go crazy. There's a lot of interest, basic level interest of what's happening in Korea. However, at the same time, the difficult part to answer is that even though there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of buzz around Korea, a lot of people don't actually know what's going on. Like it's kind of like it happens to Asia. You talk about Japan, you talk about China. It is a black hole. What exactly is going on, on a middle level space? What exactly is, who do I talk to, right? Who can get me connected? Where do I find investments? Where do I find the right projects to partner? That's a curious question. And again, going back to the vision, it's about connecting. And there was this opportunity where, looking at our audience, 50% of them are not from Korea. And there is people who literally want a face-to-face opportunity to connect and build that business relationship as well. I think the aspects, it's definitely the audience. I think the audience makes what it is. What people don't realize in a lot of these events platforms is the audience is the DNA. We are the ones that set the vision, but it's the audience that creates the DNA of what makes it exciting, what makes us different, what makes us special, what makes us unique. It is the audience. If you ask me, that's one thing very obviously. The different types of people, different backgrounds are coming. Spending the next 2 days and essentially the next 5 to 6 days if you talk about Korean Blockchain Week. But if you're going to break it down, what else am I so excited about? Meeting new people. I think that's what everybody's here. Meeting more people, legitimate people. We're obviously very excited to hear some of these people I'm hearing for the first time. Michael Novogratz, Michael Arrington, Dominic Williams, people who usually would not come to Asia to speak. Even like Maya Villanove, Loretta Joseph, all these people, people write legislation papers. These are not people that would just come for a meeting to Korea, right? These are people who are some of the heavyweights, thought leaders in the industry, and they are here. If you ask me, that's one thing I'm most appreciative and most excited about as well. The thing is that we never really set a kind of a milestone. We have internal targets and internal dreams about where we're going. We never really went about setting a milestone. We never went about saying that, oh, you know what, let's make sure the event grows this much. Oh, you know what, let's make sure that we grow the sponsorships amount this much. Oh, you know what, we've got to make sure that we hit this. We didn't really focus on that. And the reason is because we are also strong believers in organic growth instead of forcing it. I cannot speak for myself, but I know there are other parties who know that this is a hot thing. Like running conferences is a hot thing, right? Everybody wants to make the most amount of money in the shortest possible time. That's not us. We want to also try and create something that grows organically, something that slowly increases in time, something that slowly grows from a brand, from an influence, from a respect perspective. But milestones, if I would say, is that we've kind of hit it. We told ourselves that we would do three cities this year, and that's it. We do Tokyo, we do Seoul, end the year in Bangkok, and that's it. And then we look at what everything has done, how the progress has made, and then we see where the industry stands and everything like that. And we'll probably see and we'll look at it again, what's happening in the next, say, 6 months. Nobody knows. Anybody who says they know is probably lying, straight up. Because it's so, this industry is in its infancy. This is an industry that is so new. It is something that is not, it's still going through regulations, it's still going through changes, security tokens, utility tokens, etc., etc. It goes through so many changes, so many updates as well. Where the industry, blockchain as a platform, as a protocol, does it have the potential to have a use case, mass adoption, potential payments, whatever in the future? Easy answer, yes, 100%. That's why we're all here, right? However, when will that day happen, right? Is it going to happen in 2 years, 5 years? Nobody knows, right? That is a fact, right? I don't know. That's why I bring speakers in, right? Because they know better than I do. With respect, they do. Where do we stand in mass adoption? Ask 5 people will give you a different answer. Where do we stand on stabilizing it? Like, for example, Ethereum or other new protocols out there, Hashgraph, Tron, whatever. Where do they stand from now? Don't know. Looking at the roadmap, it's still something. Some of them have roadmaps for the next 2 to 3 years. No, but that being said, is there a real potential use case for blockchain and cryptocurrencies? Yes. However, maybe not in its current state. Maybe where we are right now is kind of like 20, 25 years ago when the first Laserdisc first came out, right? Or when the first cassette tape first came out, right? That was the genesis of a new technology. It's like it was laser technology for entertainment and everything, right? Now you ask anybody out there, the Laserdisc doesn't exist. Everybody's DVDs, Blu-ray, Netflix and everything, right? The current evolution of it is Netflix. The question here is that, and the answer to that is that, are we at the Laserdisc stage or are we at the Netflix stage? Right? If you ask me, we're definitely closer to the Laserdisc stage, right? We're definitely not at Netflix stage right now. How will Beyond Blocks change? Well, it really depends on the appetite of the industry, right? Obviously, the content and the audience is something that will evolve. I don't think that the audience will be the same. When we have the same conversation a year from now, the audience will be the same. The content will definitely not be the same. I think the people that we'll put on stage will also not be the same. Not because we're changing things up, but just simply because the industry evolves. But again, what is the platform? The platform is, I wouldn't say immune, but the platform is neutral to that. Because at the end of the day, the vision is connecting blockchain end users. That will never change. The first one is partnerships, right? Coming into all these different countries, we want to always work with the local community. However, that being said, it's an industry that's also very volatile. It's an industry that's full of question marks. Who do you work with? Which partner is going to bring you value? Who can you bring the most value to? It's also another question as well. It's a very big challenge. It's very easy. Anybody with the right events background can do a conference. That is not a problem. How do you engage the right audience? How do you make sure the right audience comes, the right speakers engage, the right content, the relevant content actually is shared with the audience? This is very much not just based on our expertise, but also the expertise of our partners on the ground as well. So that's also a very, very important element and consideration which we take. Other challenges which we face is how can we be Unblocked as a brand step above it. I'm not going to call other people's conferences a scam or whatever it is, but how do we differentiate ourselves? How can we tell people that we're different? One very good example, we do not sell speaking slots, right? A lot of people use that as a key monetization tool because events cost money. It's like, it's not we don't understand, events cost money. They cost a lot of money, right? So that's why people find ways to monetize as much as possible, not just for profit, but also to cover costs, right? However, we don't want to dilute that, right? The content and the speakers is something we are in control 100%, right? However, that is not the case, and that is not the so-called perceived industry standard today. That being said, we are very true to how we do things and how we believe it. We are also very true to how, we strongly believe in fairness. It's also another thing we enforce internally within the business. We don't have one of those our culture is like a family and everything like that. We don't believe in that, but we enforce very strictly a one which is about fairness and integrity. We strongly believe that there's no point bitching and complaining about the industry's lack of integrity. It has to start from us, right? And it starts within the business, and it gets showcased through the conferences and the other businesses which we do as well.